This is a demonstration
Joining
of
Moyd and
flip
Loretta
format.
for a trip down memory lane, Donna Lynch.
There she is. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Eating your strawberries?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Where's the cream? Is this all for Wimbledon, is
Oh,
it? You're
yes,
getting-
that's right. Wimbledon started this week, so I thought I'd bring in the strawberries for you.
Exciting. Oh, love Wimbledon.
All right, well, look, today we're going to talk about first jobs. When you talk about your first job, I don't know about you, but everyone seems to have a story. They always relate back to, how much they got paid, things that went wrong. My first job was
This is a
in
demonstration
the late
of flip format.
70s. And I worked...
regarded in
Sure
the
about
timing
that?
here.
I worked for an accountancy firm because Dad wouldn't let me get into radio, because I think I'm interested to hear from our listeners if you had the choice of what you wanted to do, or did your parents guide you into what your first job was. Nowadays it's completely different. But in those years...
A lot of people do follow their parents, their dad in particular, into law or doctors and things like that.
Well, I wanted to be in radio, and Dad said, you're not going to get into radio, that's a 10 bob a dozen job. How right he was,
This
of course,
is a demonstration of
It's
flip
not so
format.
bad now.
That's
There's
right.
worse industries to be in.
And in those days, they didn't let girls get into radio and be on air and so forth. It was a man's domain.
How do we stuff that one up?
I know. So I went off to do a secretarial course that girls
As you
did,
do.
As the girls
shorthand
did,
and
yeah.
typing.
Yeah, I did that.
So we did that, and then we went, and the day I left technical college after doing that course, I actually walked the streets looking for a job.
You
So
you walk the streets.
It was a couple
This is a demonstration
So you went into,
of
like, I
flip
went into the
format.
ANZ Bank. Can I see the manager, please? Do you have any work
Oh,
going?
really? Looking for a job like
That's
that?
exactly right. That's what we did in those days. You went around and asked people if they had a job going. I went into all the banks because that was my first thing. Dad said, go to all the banks. I'm sure you'll get a job with one of the banks. Anyway,
Right, Banks was the big thing.
I got a job with an accountancy firm, and they were called Freeburn, Farnham, Bowden
You
Associates.
don't forget, do you, the first place you
No,
worked
but
there?
there's one name in there.
Because
Farnham.
the name Farnham was in there,
This
I
is
was
a
so excited
demonstration
because I was
of
a
flip
huge John
format.
Farnham fan and still am.
It was a
So
sign.
I loved answering the phone, Freeburn, Farnham, Bowden Associates. And I did that for 12 months, and the local radio station offered me a job, so away I went. And I said to Dad, look, I've done what you wanted me to do for 12 months, so now I'm going to do what I want to do. And away I went.
Was your dad? My dad was disgusted when he first heard a tape of me doing the radio, because I had put on the
Why?
bit. Well,
They
in
didn't
those
want you
days,
to do those
you
jobs
put on
because
the
they weren't
voice.
secure.
No, but because Dad would
This
listen
is
to
a
it and go,
demonstration
because I'd be
of
going,
flip format.
Radio 8, it's Moyd K in the afternoon. That's how he. And Dad would go, what are you doing?
Well,
That
my
sounds
first
ridiculous.
pay packet was $36, and you actually got your money, the cash, the notes
Yes,
and the
you did,
coin,
in a little packet.
pay packet.
every week.
Wasn't it great?
With a little strip
Yes.
Yeah,
of
the-
paper
the
that said
details.
what's your gross
Yeah.
income, your tax, and your net.
That was great getting that little yellow packet.
But I think now it's good it gets put in the bank, because otherwise you never saved your money.
No,
This
but
is a
but
demonstration
It'd be good though.
of
When you're getting a
flip
pay packet
format.
now, and you've got little yellow ones and a couple of maybe a green one or two in there.
How much you get paid?
A bit more than you, obviously. You get little red ones, do you?
Well, folks, we'd love you to call us this afternoon, 1332. Share your first job stories with us. And obviously a lady that knows all about first jobs and all jobs is Sarina Russo, the Managing Director of Sarina Russo Job Access Australia. Good afternoon.
Good. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity
This is a
of
demonstration
going and
of flip
reflecting my
format.
life.
How did you get your first job, Sarina, and what was it?
My first happy job was the job that I created myself, and that was because I couldn't hold down any other job, because I kept on getting fired from every job. So I guess I looked at my life and thought, well, I can't hold down any jobs, so maybe I should create my own. And hence, 33 years ago, I started this little typing school called the Office Business Academy.
So were your first jobs, did they involve
This is a
typing?
demonstration of flip
Yeah,
format.
totally. I was a legal secretary. I couldn't make it to senior at All Hallows because they said I didn't have the academic qualifications.
Oh.
And so they asked me to leave at grade 10 and go to a business school because I learned to type when I was something like in grade 7. My father was a very, very strict Italian who wouldn't let my sister go out.
This is a demonstration
So therefore I had
of
to
flip
chaperone
format.
her to learn how to type at the technical college, which is today QUT. QUT. And so I was very, very good at typing. And of course that today is still one of my greatest skills. And whoever thought that something that you did when you were in grade 7 would
Yes.
just lead you to your life and make you financially independent. So I guess if we've got listeners right now,
This
just
is a
stick to your
demonstration
passion
of flip
and
format.
drive your passion, because it can make you financially independent.
But Sarina, when they told you to leave, though, at grade 10, how did you take that? Were there other things you wanted to do?
Well, of course, rejection is something that I always handle very, very well. I remember when I was...
You need to work in radio.
Exactly. I remember when I was doing my maths.
This
and
is
the
a
nun would always
demonstration
write
of flip
BAD
format.
on it. And I'd say, what she means is best always done. So even then, in grade 10,
Yeah.
I was an optimist.
That's good.
And so whilst All Hallows, who now have got me down in the Hall of Fame in their business category, I think that every decision in your life is fine, whether it's a poor experience, a failure, whether it's a win. We can all learn from it.
This
And
is
it's
a
how you
demonstration
interpret your
of
life.
flip format.
This is what I share today, is it's not what happens to you, it's how you interpret that experience. And I've always seen a silver lining in every cloud.
But what about the people coming through now? Are they as confident, as forward-thinking as you? Have things
Generation
changed?
Y and
Yeah.
Generation X.
Well, I really believe Generation Y and Generation X are an inspiration to us. If you think of the cyberspace world today, I mean, they are actually teaching us how
This
you can
is a
think
demonstration
differently
of
and
flip format.
turn everything upside down and look at the new business model. And that's what excites me. Because 33 years ago, I was, in a happy job, starting my own job as a typing class, business school. And, I was only teaching one class. But today, in my 33rd year of business, I'm now excited about being in the internet space and starting to teach online.
Yeah, you've got to change
and
with the
teaching
times.
millions. And so what I think is today, what's really exciting
This
for
is
us
a demonstration
in our
of
era is to
flip
be able
format.
to think differently, think out of the square box, and understand that disruption or disruptive technology is really a healthy way of looking at life and embracing your future with excitement rather than with fear. So I'm very excited about the new business model that, things are changing, online shopping, I was just doing Google Map right now. I can actually see all the properties I own through the Google Map. I mean, once upon a time,
This is a demonstration
photos were the only
of flip
things
format.
that, we used to have. But today, the world has changed, and it's very, very exciting. And to keep constantly re-engineering yourself is the way to go. So, not viewers, but listeners, whatever you've got right now, get excited and think differently. I bought a pair of jeans at the Louis Vuitton shop yesterday, and the zip normally goes up. It doesn't go down. But what we do is now the zip, you just drive
This
it
is a
down instead of driving
demonstration
it up.
of flip format.
Everything has got to be thought differently, and I think today it's so exciting to be able to re-engineer yourself and get yourself into an exciting new way of thinking.
Yeah,
And,
Sarina, we can thank Bill Gates and Steve Jobs for a lot of that stuff you're talking about there too, can't we? It was their forward thinking that's created this world we're in now.
Exactly. And if you think they failed at university, I mean, Steve Jobs just couldn't even, he got fired from his own company.
This is a demonstration of flip
if he
format.
hadn't have got fired and it was the way he interpreted that dismissal, he wouldn't be the genius. It's the rejection that helps you to grow.
Okay, Sarina,
I mean, it's all those disappointments. It's how you perceive it, how you judge it, and how you move forward. And never, ever be a victim. Become a leader.
Okay, take advice,
Good
folks. Thanks,
advice
Sarina.
there. Thanks, Sarina. Sarina Russo there, Managing Director, of course, of Sarina Russo Job Access.
Yes, thinking outside the
This
square,
is a
reading that Steve Jobs
demonstration
book, which
of
you gave me
flip
for my
format.
birthday, and you can see why he got fired.
But it's interesting, isn't it, to find people that do the job that they always wanted to do. I'm interested to get those thoughts from people as well. Did you end up getting a job that, even when you were a small child, that's what you wanted to do? Remember, girls wanted to work in a chemist shop, or we wanted to be an air hostess.
Yeah, air hostess was the thing.
And boys wanted to be a policeman or a firefighter or a truck driver. Little boys to this day still say they want to do that when you ask them what they want to do.
Yeah, but I want to be a radio announcer, but I was too embarrassed to tell anybody
This
that's
is
what
a
I wanted to do.
demonstration
Because
of
everyone said
flip
that's
format.
impossible. That only special people can get that.
See, I went-
Special, all right.
I went through phases. I wanted to be a vet's nurse, but then I went through other things.
You'd cry all the time.
Oh, I know. I passed out when I went to work experience. And then when I did, the dog was having a hysterectomy. And then I pretended to be a teacher. You know when you're a kid and you play, and you play on the blackboard?
Yes.
And 1 + 1 = 2, and then, but there was always a little Johnny in the corner who was naughty.
Yes. So you could tell them off.
Tell them off. But your little things, so I think you role
This is
play
a
when
demonstration
you're a kid,
of
and maybe
flip
that
format.
leads to what you want to be.
In the future.
Yeah.
Give us your calls, folks. 13 13 32, your first job, and I wonder if anybody's first job is still their job. Not many these days, I wouldn't think. 28 to 2. Let's see what's happening on the roads.